Well, hello and welcome to Our Subconscious Speaks. My name's Tom Robert, and this is my amazing and talented award-winning partner.
Tina Orlando.
And together we are
Tina Orlando.
and Dawn. If that doesn't bring a smile to your face, I don't know what will.
True, true, true,
You know,
true. Hmm.
that
How,
holiday joy in your heart, the black coal in your stocking. I don't know.
hmm Either way, it should bring a smile to your face, no
Yeah.
matter who you
So
are.
I'm just seem to be interrupting myself right out of the gates these days. Hey, listen, if you're new to the podcast, feel free to like, follow, subscribe. We love comments. They may turn into an episode. You never know.
Hmm.
So feel free to share this with anybody you want. Tina and I are both award-winning, top of our class graduates from Hypnosis Motivation Institute, our beloved HMI right here in Tarzana, California, where we met almost 5 years ago and have been pretty
Hmm.
much talking in some form or another every day since.
Yeah,
Pretty,
pretty much.
pretty much. There's been
Pretty much.
periods and of time that go by, but not for long. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we always have something to say.
we sure do. And so let's talk about that today.
Okay,
Uh, so we're thinking, it's we're recording this on soon to be one of the last days of the year.
already. My God, it's
Recording
gone by
date
fast.
is we record episodes on Saturday and post them on Sunday. So if you're
Hmm.
wondering what the rhythm is, and I think you can hit the little, if you're on YouTube, they have this wonderful little bell reminder. I don't know if I think
Subscribe.
the other ones do. Everybody does, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they do.
So, and then if you follow us on social media, we're gonna post really clever, cool, eye-catching reels here and there
Yeah.
promoting the podcast.
Hmm. Always,
So come
always.
one, come all. Pied Piper's
Absolutely.
calling you.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on. It's fun.
So I was thinking we could get into a conversation around this whole idea of you know, this new year, new you thing that happens, the wave that's taking place right now, where
Hmm.
tons of people are signing up for things and taking advantage of year-end sales and, the motivation to just because a calendar day passes that it's going to be this was just
Magic.
wow, magical event. And so
Mm.
yeah, there you go.
I hate to be the one to tell you, but that's not how it works.
Now, in the spirit of like the manifestation methods, there's a ton of them out there. This isn't going to be that episode, but I'm sure we'll end up talking about some. I've recently been studying Tesla's 369 method, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of opinion about how to do it.
Yes, there's a
Um,
lot of opinion about any type of manifestation.
yes, because interesting enough, I found somebody's YouTube video that I enjoyed that the way she presented was like, listen, this is the magic between you and the universe. I can't
Hmm.
tell you what your magic is.
Right. The
So
only the only caveat there though is when the conscious and subconscious are not connected, that's when it falls apart. So you have to be in alignment.
Yeah, I think that would be something that everyone agrees on is if you want to manifest $1 million to show up by the end of Q1 in 25, which would be 3 months from now, roughly,
Hmm. Hmm.
that there has to be this actual belief that you could achieve that. It can't be
Consciously.
the Willy Wonka factory of wishes and dreams, right?
Right. And every time, it comes up, you have to stay in that same mindset that you're open to receive that amount.
That's
There
one of my
can't be,
favorites.
right.
Yeah.
There can't be doubt. There cannot be doubt. Like the subconscious and the
Yeah.
conscious mind have to be in coherence.
Now, if you were going to coach yourself, you could say, all right, well, here are my affirmations. This is what I want to achieve, right? Written in the present, like it's already happening. But yet
Mhm.
there's one that every time I say it out loud or write it, and I just go, that's not really gonna happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Incoherent.
okay, but so there's a nice place to start with like focus on that and talk
That's
about
what you,
that either
mhm.
with a friend or a therapist or a hypnotherapist, a coach, or somebody other than yourself.
Right. But that's when you're not in alignment, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
how do
yeah.
you
That's what
get
I'm.
in
I'm
alignment?
sorry. I went right past that to how to fix it. You
Right.
know me.
So that's when you're not in alignment
Yeah.
and you
Thanks.
need to get the subconscious on board because there is something in your conscious mind that's coming from somewhere, right? Whether it's external or internal. So once you consciously want these things, that creeping little voice, that's subconscious. That's that
Yeah.
subconscious belief system that isn't in alignment. That's when you need to go find somebody to help you out.
W-
Like your neighborhood hypnotherapist that
Yeah.
would love to help you with
Friendly neighborhood.
manifestation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know what's so interesting and fascinating about this is, as you know, I returned back to HMI as an associate instructor, and a lot of the practicum topics are kind of what would be considered, and I think they're called the Capistinian model of the first session, and so. It's everything that you could do, not that you have to do all 10, but the practicums are the
Right.
instructors instructing on that, demoing, answering questions, and then helping the students practice. I love doing it. It's just really one of my purpose. But there's been a lot of, and then I got invited. Did I tell you that I got invited to become a practicum teacher for the 101 classes?
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So 101, they call it 101, 1P, 2P, 3P, 4P, right? And so
Hmm.
I sat in, Ted Marino was doing it last week, one of the trainings that I sat in on. And so it's such a strong emphasis on the theory of mind, and they have the practice, the theory of mind out of the 101 section, right?
Hmm.
Your basic format beginning. And it's so wonderful to revisit the official
Hmm.
presentation that we're taught, right, that has obviously become mine now when I do it for
Hmm.
my clients, right, but now it's just so interesting to the way it's taught is that the disconnect, like you're saying, the incongruence between what you think and believe and what's down here in your subconscious. Mine's
Hmm.
down here. It's like heart centered. Like my gut is my inner self. That's where mine is, my subconscious.
Hmm.
I know
Well, that's
technically it's in the brain, and the way we draw the circle, it's at the bottom of the brain. So technically that would be right across my forehead.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's some discussion about where your subconscious really resides,
Yeah.
whether it's, in your brain somewhere or it's your gut or is it your heart? There's some discussion about that.
What I really loved about, I mean, I love so many things when I arrived at HMI. Mind, body, spirit is a big one. Because I was taught body, mind, spirit, right? And
Hmm.
in AA, there's the triangle. That's what that represents. And I
Hmm.
was taught that if you work that together, you can be one, you can be whole. And
Hmm.
so I just loved when I showed up at HMI and that was like a talk track, and then the suit up show up that's on the wall in the 101 room. Tina and I were lucky enough to go to school in person for a while. Me
Absolutely.
6 months. I think you're a month or two ahead of me, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was.
wonderful. Well, I
But anyway,
started
so
in
so the
May.
education points to the reason you can't use your conscious mind to change is because it's only at best 12%.
Maybe, if you're lucky.
Maybe,
The
right?
number's shrinking the more social media,
Well,
the more.
and the more people go outside of just hypnosis and hypnotherapy, right? Like, so you look at one of our favorites, Dr. Joe Dispenza, right?
Hmm.
He's
Hmm.
a neuroscientist,
Right,
so he's down to like a whopping 5%.
right,
But
right.
here's the reality. Don't get hung up on this is for me. I'm saying it out loud to you and you tell me what you think about this. This is this moments that I have when I'm like over here just educating myself again. And I'm like, okay, so it doesn't really matter how much is the conscious mind 10, 12, 14, 9, 6, 3.
It
Really
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. The majority of it is run by the house, and the house
Hmm.
is the subconscious, whether it's
Hmm.
88, 90, 95. It's not
Absolutely.
100%, right? There's still And the ability to tap into and utilize the small percentage of the conscious mind is definitely there. But when there's this disconnect that you're the thing that you're raising, it's
Hmm.
because the house is in charge, so to speak, and the house
That's
always
right.
wins.
The house
Yeah,
always wins.
yeah.
And it is in charge, and there is a disconnect. And that's why a lot of people, they give up on their manifestations. They also, they use words that imply other things to our subconscious.
Ooh, ooh. What do you
Like
got?
the word need.
Ooh, ouch.
Need implies
Ooh,
lack. Want implies
ooh.
lack. It
Yeah,
has to be desire. It has to be, I am, it has to be present tense. It has to be desire, as if you already have it, which you and I. Um, but you can watch those words, how many times you say, I need something, and it doesn't happen because you're implying lack, which means that your subconscious is going to give you more lack, not more wealth of whatever it is you want.
yeah.
Um,
I think everybody collectively will agree on the I am statement part.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's what
present tense.
actually comes after that that is so important. I am enough. I am abundant. I am love. I am loved. I am lovable. All those things count.
I'm a big fan of adding in I am grateful,
Hmm.
thankful,
Absolutely.
grateful
Absolutely.
that I'm living a life I love.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It doesn't, ultimately, it doesn't matter, like, as long as it's said present tense positive, right?
right.
Without that need of whatever. It's the idea of already having it. Can you
Yeah.
stay in that state? And that state is that grateful state of having already received it.
Yes, grateful is the act of the emotion attached to receiving. Absolutely. It should be, right? Not always in an ideal world, right? Look
Mhm.
at you, you're just all excited about your Prince mug every time you pull it up to take a drink.
I love it. It's true though. Shit's been weird since he died.
Yeah, too cute.
Yeah. But yes, that's so that's part of the reason why this new year, new you, like the word diet implies a beginning and an end, and it doesn't work.
Well, they're sold as a beginning and an end, typically. It's a
Well,
30-day program, a 60, whatever
it
the
doesn't matter. You've been programmed your whole life to know that diets have a beginning and an end
right.
instead of just change. I am changing. I am healthier. I am whatever. Um, so that's why they don't usually work.
But yet, how many people are going to make the big, bold statements this year of I'm gonna or
Why
I
why are you
want to,
gonna? How
huh?
about
Yeah.
I am doing,
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna?
I'm just
Gonna
pointing out
implies
the time of
out
the
there.
year. Not
Oh
everybody's
no.
subscribed to our channel yet, so not
Well, I
everybody
mean
gets this
that's
information because not everybody knows somebody that's plugged into the universe the way that we tend to be in the circle
hmm
that we run in, right? There's people that
hmm
are just kind of floating along in life,
hmm
unknown, right? You don't know
yeah,
until you know.
true. And then
And then
once you
even
know,
then, after people know stuff, what up, Flash? It's like just because you know doesn't mean you're going to use it or apply it.
no, yeah, it might not be in your knowns in your subconscious to know how to do that. You might have to learn.
What? That's like episode two or something.
No,
And
I
three
mean,
and four and I seven and 12 and nine and yeah,
yeah, the knowns, the things that you know
yeah.
subconsciously. That's what is controlling everything.
It was so interesting. Christmas dinner. I was lucky enough to be with my daughter and invited to
Mm.
have dinner with her mom and her mom's husband. And it was a wonderful,
How
lively
wonderful.
conversation about ceremonies and
Mm. Wonderful.
transformations. And yeah, it was amazing. We're on such good ground, all of us. And Julie, I don't know how we're probably talking about the subconscious or we're talking about I wasn't talking about knowns per se at the table or something, but my daughter, who's a psychology major,
Hmm.
chimes in with, the first 5 years, Dad, are like the most formative. That's when we learn everything. And I'm like, absolutely. Goes a little
Hmm.
beyond that, and we don't stop. That's the other thing that I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough is that it doesn't stop at 10 or 9
Mm-mm.
or 8 or even 5. It's just, but those are the formative years because we come in as such a blank slate.
Hmm.
Two basic
Hmm.
fears, right? Fear of heights and fear of loud noises, and our
Hmm.
primitive part of our mind that's there to protect us. Other than that, it's all learned.
All learned behavior, all of it, all of it. And then, it kind of hits a point where it just starts repeating out behavior in different scenarios, but it's still the same knowns. It's still the same things. They're just changing and morphing into other situations. Doesn't change the basis of it
No. And then changing it on your own is almost impossible.
without, cracking into that subconscious mind.
Right, but the cracking in, I've tried on my own, right? To crack
It's
in
very
by
hard.
myself. I
It's
mean,
very
I have
difficult.
so many self-help books on my shelf, right? There,
It's part of the
I
journey.
feel like I've tried everything.
Hmm.
The most effective thing seems to be hypnotherapy, in
Yeah.
my opinion. And so,
Well,
um, and my experience. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of because here's what I think. I think that because when we're little, we're in that like theta state. And then when we're in hypnosis, we're also in a theta state, kind of bouncing between,
Hmm.
states. And I think that is why it's easy to access that subconscious mind. Um, that was, that's where all the stuff that we are learning is housed, right? Like it's in that subconscious mind. That state that we learned, a majority of that is theta. And when you're in hypnosis, you're in theta, technically,
Hmm.
drifting around. That's why, in between wake and sleep. So I really think that that is why hypnosis is so effective. And self hypnosis is good, but it is better to use a hypnotherapist.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Self-hypnosis does work. Plenty of people would chime in. Feel free to comment away, but it's
Go
for
for it.
me, my personal experience is that it's so much more effective with somebody else leading being in charge
Oh,
of
absolutely.
the journey, so to speak. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I, yeah, yeah. There are things that, I've experienced having been hypnotized by, the wonderful Cheryl O'Neill, who is amazing. She will make you forget what people look like. Like it's amazing when she just does her thing,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it just works so well when somebody else is doing it, as opposed to you doing it. There is something to be said for reinforcing what
Yeah.
has been done in those sessions, those self hypnosis audios or whatever. Um, Work really well for reinforcement, but I don't think I would get the same. I know that I wouldn't get the same effect trying to do that myself, even though I know technically what she's doing.
Right.
Uh,
That's the
yeah.
funny part as a hypnotherapist that is pretty successful, to work
Mm-hmm.
with somebody else. And you're like, I found this when I did those sessions with Bruce,
Mm-hmm.
and he did like a version of 7 ± 2.
I love it.
And I knew what he was doing. And it was just like, but still, because I'm
Yeah.
following along, I
You just
followed,
have to surrender.
it still worked. It's
Mm-hmm.
just funny to me when we work
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Cheryl. Yes. I mean, Cheryl's amazing. She'll come up
She
with
is.
something out of the blue. So
She's the best. Yeah.
she is. She is. But that's back to the new year, new you.
It's all part of
I,
the conversation. Oh, you're trying to keep us on track? Great.
No, no, no. I was getting ready to say something about New Year, New You. I mean,
Yeah.
I've spent, a decade or so in the fitness world, and I've seen so many people walk in. January is a big month for any type of fitness,
Can't
and
find a machine in
you can't
January.
find a machine. You can't get into a class. They're
There's no
packed.
floor space available
Just
and it
wait until
smells. It's just horrid.
just wait until, Valentine's Day, it'll open up. But, and that's, that is the fall off, is maxing out at 6 weeks, unfortunately.
Mm,
So, I mean, that's because in your mind, it's the new you, it's the new year, new you. And by
yeah.
that time, the new year has worn off and we're well into the year at that point.
Yeah,
And,
we're still back to who's running the show. Because
well,
your conscious mind, right? You use that, you enforce that willpower, you use that logic. I mean, this makes sense. This is the year. It's
mhm,
2025. I'm big on numbers. 25 is a great number. This is going to be the year where it all changes.
uh-huh.
Ooh, okay. Uh-huh. Um, yeah. I do want to say something about even though it's this kind of Peter Pan thinking that just because the calendar changes another year that like you're going to be motivated to actually change. Um, there is some power in the intention to change. There is that.
Well, everybody
Um,
has great intentions.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped calling them resolutions a long time ago. Um,
Uh-huh.
and I call them revolutions.
Hmm.
I'm going to have a revolt.
Okay.
I'm
Are you
overthrowing the
revolting?
I'm overthrowing my own capital.
There you go. You're overthrowing the house.
But I don't do that
I,
anymore either.
I mean, that it's better to say I'm going to do it today. I think like just start off small. It's easier to say to do these small things and build into success than to just, take a bite out of the big apple and think you're going to walk New York in one day. Like it, it doesn't work that way. You have to set yourself up for it. So,
Setting yourself for success is important. Absolutely. Yeah.
mhm. I mean, if you have a goal and, all the steps that it's going to take to get there, the idea is, can you see the goal and then sustain the goal?
Well, I think if you maybe invoked some general NLP techniques, SMART goals have been around. That's not technically NLP, although I'd
No.
be very interested to know who coined the phrase of SMART goals. And the acronym for SMART goals has
Hmm.
the definition of them have changed a little over time. They're all generally saying the same thing: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound or time sensitive. But like, I wonder if that person um, was exposed to, had a course on, took a class or whatever, or studied NLP, because NLP talks about, with the goal in mind, like your signature, know your outcome,
Hmm.
right? So,
George Dorian.
huh? Did you just
George
Google
Dorian.
who came up with SMART goal? Fuck it, the internet is so amazing, dude.
Well, that's,
Are you like
sorry.
literally right? George who?
George Dorian. George T. Dorian. His SMART goals
D
model
O
was first
R
written. AN. SMART goals model was first written in 1981 by George T. Dorian in a paper filled. There's a smart way to write goals and objectives. Now, I don't know if that's psychology or just business.
Well, you'd have to go to his like Wikipedia page, which should give you a history of him to see what training brought him to that. Because this is very in the box. Like every corporation I've ever worked for
Mhm.
is looking for SMART goals. It was just very interesting when I started learning NLP and studying it, and they talk about chunking down your goal,
Yeah.
right, with the end in mind. And I always like to use round numbers like as an example. So if you want to make 120,000 a year, your chunking
Mhm.
down begins with that's 10 grand a month.
Yes.
And then there's 4 weeks in a month, right? On average.
Mhm.
Yes, there's
Right.
5 week months as well. But that means you've got to do 2,500 a week. Okay, what are you going
Mhm.
to do every day to generate that income
Mhm.
to get the
I get
desired
it.
effect, right?
Mhm.
But I wonder, it was just a wondering out loud. Didn't need to turn this into like a research episode.
Sorry.
But
Sorry.
we do like to be factual here.
Well, I was thinking it was actually someone else. I didn't expect it to not be from positive psychology. I want to say it was somebody there that also used it, and I
Yeah,
can't remember his name.
who gets credit for chunking down is is the next question to ask your little search engine there.
Bandler.
Bandler, is
Isn't
it?
isn't that it? Is that his
Well,
name?
he's
Yes.
one of the, wasn't there two guys that started
Yeah.
NLP? I'd have to get my NLP book out. I don't have this memorized. I don't have room for it in the hard drive.
Um,
Bandler and hopefully somebody that's listening is like, oh my God, these guys claim to be experts. Jesus, it's Bandler and blah, blah.
um, George A. Miller, 1956, magical number 7 plus or minus 2.
Stop it.
Swear to God.
What the? That's an NLP induction?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's not Terrence Watts.
It's not his technically, no. It's George A. Miller.
What the hell? I,
I know some people are like, what the hell are they talking about? But that this like geek speak for hypnotherapists
what's Miller's
and
first name?
George.
Another George. Interesting.
George is a good name.
It's my middle name.
Is it?
Donald George
Yeah,
Christopher Robert Jr.
that's a long ass name.
Well, when you're raised Catholic, you have to get that fourth name in there.
Yeah, I get
I
it.
didn't do so well. They literally let me get confirmed so they didn't embarrass my dad, who was a Eucharistic minister. I you have apparently you have to go to CCD to actually be able to take and pass the test.
Yes,
I would skip
need to.
a
Oh,
lot. Yeah. It
okay.
wasn't religion wasn't for me. It was shoved down my throat.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother episode though.
I mean, religion, those that fear hell,
It's a belief
spirituality
system. There,
is those who've
in the
already been
spirit
through hell.
of the first 5 years or 10 or whatever, like, yeah.
I don't know about that one. I don't know
What's
about
that?
that one.
Go ahead.
That that it's a learned thing because I was raised Catholic and I don't fall into that Catholic belief system. I didn't even as a kid.
Well, it's programming. Whether
I
you
don't.
receive it and take it on or not, that's
Mhm.
individual, but it's
Right.
definitely programming.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. That's what I was pointing out.
Oh,
Not,
absolutely.
yeah,
It's programming. And, it's funny though that when you resist those things when you're younger, they stick with you for a very long time. You can resist
example.
them. Well, I mean, if you're a kid that doesn't buy in to the programming and question the programming,
Hmm.
that
That questioning follows you, and then you get kind of corralled over into a group of people called conspiracy theorists.
maybe, but I mean, it was more like, a rebel, like, why is she always questioning?
Rebel, yep,
Um,
I got that one. Yeah,
rebel.
got that one. Black sheep,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah,
trouble, here she
yeah.
comes
Here
again.
comes
She's very
trouble.
determined.
Trouble's your middle name.
Oh,
Yep,
if I
yep.
heard it once, I heard it a million times. But
We
or
are two birds of a feather, girl.
it's one of those things where it's, even as a kid, I was questioning,
Yeah.
like, why does everybody fear God? I was 8 years old asking that question. I don't get it. It's supposed to be
My
all
uh
loving.
my spiritual existential experience started about that age. I was in Mesquamacut, Rhode Island. We were walking back from an arcade across the street. It's back when you can walk places and
Oh,
be safe. And I don't know why. I don't know what the kid that was with me, one of my friends, and like I don't know what we were talking about, but all of a sudden the thought occurred to me like I questioned the existence of God
right.
out of nowheres, right? After having all this like massive, sit in the front pew programming. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the
Grinder
beginning
and
of
Bandler.
a long path towards
Yes.
spirituality, and which is absolutely included religious experiences as well. I had a pretty
Mm-hmm.
significant experience when I lived in Seattle. I actually got adult baptized. Did I ever tell you
Mm-hmm.
that?
Yes.
Okay. I pretty much told you everything.
John Grinder and Richard Bandler.
Grinder, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they Grinder.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the NLP guys. I'm going to do some research on this because I like doing that kind of stuff. I like the breadcrumbs of our history
Hmm.
and, where things come from. And um, it's just interesting to me. Thank you for that, Tina. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
Uh, I don't know. I feel like we could take an exit off of New You onto like this whole like does your religious beliefs get in the way of your manifesting, right? So there is a little bit of a stigma on this whole manifesting world. Would you agree or no?
Yes, I agree. I think it's just,
Go ahead, say it. Is it begin with
I think
I?
it's bullshit. No, I think it's
Oh,
bullshit.
I thought you were going to say ignorant.
Oh, no, bullshit. I think that, um, for some groups, it's in their benefit for you to be in this state of need and lack for
Mm,
them
a lot easier to
to
control. Yeah.
control
Yeah.
and keep you right where they want you. I mean, what's the difference between, it's just so funny. What's the difference between a spell and a prayer and a mantra?
um, People's opinions.
Yeah, because it's just words and it's intention.
Well, and there's also stories attached to those words, you know.
Your own and
Well, whatever stories you've been told,
Mhm.
heard, or chose to take in as truth. Yeah.
Sure. And that goes with all three of those things, a mantra, a spell, a prayer, their words, like it's all the same. It just depends on your intention and where you're coming from and what your subconscious believes that you have or that you deserve or that you want. Um, so words are powerful.
Yeah. It's interesting to kind of witness so you've got kind of maybe an uneducated layman's opinion of, oh, they're a manifester, or oh, they do hypnosis, so you're under some sort of spell, or right there. And I say uneducated because until you know and do some research, or I have this happening a lot lately, which is as much as I talk to a new client about what the experience is going to feel like to be
Hmm.
hypnotized, they
Hmm.
still at the end of it, when I count them back up, they're just like mind blown. They're like, not what
But it
I
wasn't a,
expected.
not what I expected. Everybody expects to fall asleep. Look, people, you're not asleep. You're not going to sleep.
Well,
Sorry.
I like to say the conscious mind takes a little nap.
Okay. But you're still not going to sleep.
No, the subconscious is always listening.
Yeah. I mean, I always say that you're kind of like floating in between,
Right.
like
Yeah, yeah.
rest time. Like it's
Yes.
like
In and
a,
out. Hmm.
hmm yeah, because you're not going to hear every word.
No.
So my favorite is
Yeah.
when they don't hear every word and then they
So
hear it much later.
so where I was going, the thought that popped into my mind that I wanted to share was that like so there's this side of the coin that is let's just call it in the box, kind of. Maybe
Okay.
you could consider yourself a sheeple.
Okay.
Just kind of
Good
go
luck.
with the flow, and whatever the media is telling you, that's got to be the
Oh
truth.
yeah, those are my favorite. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That
Mhm.
segment of our world. But
Uh-huh.
yet they'll say things like, "Oh yeah, she was great when we met Tina at that cocktail party. She had such a good energy about her. She's like really cool vibe. Like that's okay
That's
to
mhm.
acknowledge that people have energy or
Oh yeah.
vibes, right?
Yeah.
It's just very interesting to me how we pick and choose where we can be open-minded. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can be even more open-minded. And I'd like
Mm-hmm.
to think that the explosion of all the different apps that you can scroll through for, it gets a bad rap. We've given it a bad rap, the doom scroll, right?
Yeah.
But there's some immediate information at your fingertips. Like you literally just Googled like two topics live on
Mhm.
air,
Live on air. It's
like
fun.
in 6 seconds, came
Hmm.
back with answers.
Yes. And those things are great. Um, you can't let the internet use you. You
Mm,
have to use it.
mm. Who's in charge of the AI?
Well, I mean,
Technically, we still are. I have to give it a prompt in order for it to do something.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Where'd you go?
Well, I was trying to think of a different word for artificial intelligence because it's not yet. It's not
Apple
artificial.
intelligence?
Well, it's like Google
That's what they did. They
intelligence.
came up with a new word.
It's it's like search engine intelligence. I don't really think that it's artificial yet. So I don't think that
Mm,
that's really what it is. It's
yes.
more like, you know,
Yeah.
advanced Googling.
Right.
Yeah, because it's not thinking on its own
No,
yet.
not yet. Although I started to read some article or some clipping of some sort saying that it was happening already, and I was like, nope,
Oh, I'm sure.
not inviting that into my consciousness right now. Thanks. I'm good.
Well, I mean, there are things happening. Yes, I mean, whether it's like that Neuralink with the guy that can play the video with his eyes, like it's crazy. This guy that couldn't do anything is now has
Yeah.
Neuralink. I
Uh-huh.
read, I just heard about it
Yeah,
briefly,
me
and I was
too. Yeah.
like, what? But I mean, hey, if he is somewhat better because of Neuralink, great for him. I wouldn't play him in video games, so he's gonna win. It's true. I mean, it sounds funny, but it's true.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
That's like
yeah,
it's like Hawking's. He's like a black belt
yeah.
and using every part of his mind and body
Hmm.
to do for him what he can't do physically.
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. But that just speaks to the expansion of
Ah,
knowledge, right?
yeah. So what I was going with the thumbers, the you know the
Hmm.
positive side of the ability to scroll, not the doom scroll, but the mind scroll, right? Where you can go find information like that,
Hmm.
right? Could
Hmm.
you hear that by the way? Because there's a rumor going around that when you snap around a microphone that you can't hear it. You didn't hear me just snap my fingers?
No, no.
Hmm. I guess that's true, that rumor.
You have to change the settings.
I do have like some sort of like cancellation thing going on, so it's just my voice that's being picked up.
Yeah, you have to change the settings. Whatchamacallit at HMI was
It's a
telling me
Zoom
about it.
setting, I believe. Yeah. What did you say there?
The guy at HMI was telling me how to reset that.
Ah, yeah,
What's his
it's in
name?
your
What's
audio
his name?
settings. I mean, I could take a
Mhm.
moment and go find it,
Then
but
you
I
can hear
I
everything.
choose not. I am interested in this because I do still snap. I'm a snapper in a, in
Yeah.
a session. Spatial audio voices will sound like they're coming from the position of each person on the screen. No. Background noise suppression I have on auto. So that snapping would be considered. I'm going to change it to low and see. We're going to do a little test here, Tina. How about now?
No, try
Dang
in
it.
front of the microphone.
Huh?
Try in
No,
front
this
of the
microphone,
microphone.
there's two sides to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because technically, this came in an upright position into a base, as I told you, but I don't like it
Uh-huh.
because then I'm hunched over my desk.
Hmm.
So, in the
Okay.
spirit of the podcast that I was gonna eventually do with you, I got a podcast boom,
Arm. Yeah.
and the
Okay.
microphone is world class. It's a Rode. It's pretty
Hmm.
badass. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Well, I'm sure there's a setting that you can,
yeah,
um,
I'll get right on that.
yeah.
Google
Okay.
expert. Yeah. Surrey has stepped up her game.
Has she?
Yes, she is fully AI and integrated, 100%.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't. Yeah.
you don't Surrey.
I do occasionally. I never think about her.
I
Sorry.
talk to her all the time. I have her I give commands all the time. There
Mm,
I use the tools, right? In the spirit of what did you say? You gotta You got to use the tool,
You got to
not
use, yeah, yeah.
use,
You
but
have,
it wasn't a tool. What were we
no, I
using?
said the internet.
The
So
internet. So the
you
internet
have to
doesn't
use the
use
internet.
you,
You,
right? Well,
right.
guess what? Siri's just like that.
Mhm.
I will often ask her in the morning when I don't have an alarm set. I'll ask her what time it is because I don't want to open my eyes. And for me, for some reason, I have convinced myself that by asking Siri, what time is it? With my eyes closed in the sleeping position I'm in, right? Because sometimes and now nobody should have responded because I turned off all my home pods, but somebody just spoke.
Somebody, one of the series have responded.
So she's responding. How interesting is this? She's not connected to the internet because I put that everything on my house is on pause, as I told you before, to increase
Mhm.
my internet speed. But she's responding to my voice. So now you don't have to do the hey. It's
Mhm.
just Siri. You still have to
Right.
call her. You still have to beckon her. But she's responding and letting me know that she can't help me because she doesn't seem to be connected to the internet.
But then how is she responding?
Literally saying that.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Some people get creeped out by all that. I don't. I really like there's a certain level of privacy that I choose to like I have phone numbers that are out there and unfortunately I do get a lot of spam. Oh, you know
Of
where I
course.
got the most spam ever? When I was running the quit smoking Facebook ad.
Oh, I'm sure.
Every day I had at least 5 or 7 people that pretended to be from Meta with this
Oh,
official looking letter that
oh
I was in
wow.
violation of copyright laws with the image that I used to follow a link to,
Wow.
I
Hmm.
got more action off that ad on spam than I did.
That's interesting, huh?
Yeah. How did we get over here? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no
this is what
idea.
happens. Welcome
Hmm.
to Donatina.
This is how it goes.
Yeah. Uh all right, so is
Yeah.
there anything else pertinent that we should share about this whole idea of the new year, new you? I think it's okay. I'm interrupting you before you can answer.
No.
Um, I'm totally on board with the whole theory, but in the spirit of new you, how about we try something different? How
Yeah,
about
I mean, because has it worked
don't,
before?
huh?
Because had it worked before, we wouldn't be saying it now.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think say yes to more things.
Ah, ooh, I forget who did. I've listened to so many different things over the years and read and watched, and there was somebody that said, try saying yes to
Hmm.
everything all day, just one day.
Uh-huh. So it's like my favorite movie is Yes Man.
Oh, maybe
It's
it was
one
the
of my
movie. Was
it was
that
one of
it?
my favorite movies of all time. It's a ridiculous movie, Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
where
Okay.
he just says yes to everything. And,
Okay, it
you
was
know,
a
it's,
movie. Yeah. There you
yeah,
go.
and
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's with General Zod from Superman, the original Superman. Um, anyways, I digress. But
No.
say
Yeah.
yes to everything. Um, make small goals and be successful and build momentum. Um, you know, if you want the success, you have to build into it. So if it's you're going to go to the gym 5 days a week, why not start with 3 days a week? And once that becomes really easy, then you can add another day. Um, setting out those small goals is easier to have success. Then you can build the momentum. Then there's no backslide of, oh, I didn't go today. I
Yeah.
failed because I went
Yep.
4 days instead of 5. Then have a positive expectation of your success.
Would you also invite people to go ahead and just try a mantra?
You could, yeah.
I
Try
am.
your mantras.
Try something
Why
with
not?
I am. Like, think of the thing that you want to achieve and then
Hmm.
speak it out loud
Hmm. Hmm.
in the I am, like it's already
Hmm.
happened.
In present tense.
Present tense. Yeah,
Yeah.
there
I
you go.
am present tense. Have a positive expectation. And if you notice that when you're saying it, there is some resistance, that is the opening for the work that you actually need
There
to
you
do.
go. Yeah,
Yeah. That's where I would go. That's what
yeah.
I would do. If it's money and that's the opening, then you need to figure out why you don't feel like you deserve it. What are you lacking? Where does that come from? Did you see your parents go through it? Did you feel it as a kid? Like, where is that living?
Yeah.
And maybe try mental bank. I don't know.
Mental who?
Mental bank.
I thought we almost were. I didn't remember to talk about it. It came up earlier, but I was trying not to interrupt you, so I didn't write it down. So I was trying to be an active listener. But yeah, mental bank.
Mental bank works well because you are writing down the positive in the present tense.
And would you like to share with everybody what the mental bank is? Just a quick
No,
kind of
you can.
overview. No? Google it.
You can. Yeah, you can go to, hmi.edu mental
Actually,
bank.
fun fact. In the show notes, I put our websites, and I also, depending on where you're listening or watching this, I put a link to our link tree, which
Hmm.
has a direct link to the YouTube video. But you can go on YouTube and just Google mental bank. Yeah,
Yes. And it works well. It is
yeah.
phenomenal. But the reason why it is working, not only does your subconscious, see really, attract really well to numbers, but it's because it is positive in the present tense. And you are setting out the goal and achieving it. You see it already happen. So the idea is to already have, you have to be in the state of already having said thing,
Hmm,
whatever it is. And that is the trick to mental bank.
there it is.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, that's where you go. That's
that's
what you
it.
do. Yeah, why not? Try it. Small
Yeah.
goals, obtainable goals.
Yes, I wanted to point out the A. I circled the A in SMART goals as you were talking to remind myself to talk about, right, that disconnect that we talked about, 35 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
The incongruency there. It's because you don't really think it's attainable.
Right.
So it has to be specific. What is
Mm-hmm.
it?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to measure it,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to think it's attainable. It's kind
Right.
of
And what do you do if it's not? Like, what if you keep finding
so.
that snag?
I know
Then,
that's a rhetorical question, but I'm going to answer it as somebody that was in corporate America for 20 years and worked with, I was an individual contributor for like almost the first year. And then I got into management and started coaching people. And the number one thing was always about what they believed.
that's all. It all comes down to that.
It really is.
I don't care what. If you're in corporate, if you're a blue collar worker, if you're a superstar, I mean, if you don't believe you deserve something, you will not keep it for very
Mm.
long.
Deserve or achieve.
Yeah, think about how many times in maybe, your life where you started doubting something and then it just slipped through your fingers.
Mm.
That's what it
Uh,
is.
by the way, a second cat showed up, and I don't
Yes.
remember the second cat's name.
The second cat's name is Maze.
And has
Maze.
May's always been part of the family?
She's been here for the last 3 years.
All right, so
She's
not
a little
always.
black cat.
I
She's a little
mean,
black cat.
she does not
Yeah,
look black.
that's Flash sitting there, and the black one is over there.
Oh, I don't even see that the
Yeah,
black cat. It's
she's
like blending
she's
right
way over
into the
there.
couch.
She's way
Oh,
over
she's
there.
off frame. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
but that's Flash sitting there.
Okay.
Um,
Got it.
yeah,
Maze. Got it.
Yeah,
Noted. All
yeah.
right.
And she's
Cool.
the little demon. Yeah, she's
All
fun.
right. Well, I know I'm going to see you on New Year's Eve, so I'm not going to wish
Right?
you Happy New Year just yet.
Nope,
I'm so
nope.
excited. Did you get the tickets?
I did.
Hate
I
to
did.
take
We
care
have
of some
tickets.
personal housekeeping here, but are we set? You got to tell me how
We
much
have
to
tickets.
Venmo you.
No,
Like,
we have tickets.
all
It's going
right.
to be amazing.
I'm so
Conejo Valley
excited. Now I'm just
Players.
like, I started worrying about what I'm going to wear.
Okay, well, it's New Year's, so it's nice. Conejo Valley
I'm
Players.
gonna probably I may not do an actual suit, but I'll appear to be in a suit. I
Okay,
believe I'll be wearing a sport coat at least.
okay,
I
all
may
right.
even
Whatever.
I used to wear bow ties back in the day. I may even throw a bow tie on. I
All
don't know.
right.
We'll
Well,
see.
uh,
We'll see.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a promotion to kill, is the name of it. hmm hmm
Okay. Oh yeah, murder
It's
mystery. Who done
murder
it?
mystery. Who
Yeah.
done it?
Masquerade party.
Um,
Yeah.
masquerade party. It's going
Is
to
it a
be
key party?
a key party. It's not an egg party either.
I don't know what that is. Egg? Is it along the same lines as my key joke? Okay.
hmm hmm Yeah. It's yeah, it's gonna be good. They're super excited, they're super ready.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I
great.
saw you post something about it today on your story.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
excited.
Well, yeah,
I'm excited. Yeah.
they are ready. It's gonna be amazing. He is
Awesome.
definitely ready.
We're talking
So
about Drew Orlando. He is on
hmm
TikTok. Yes, so you can find him. He has amazing
yeah.
videos that he shares, and he's quite the dancer and an accomplished actor. So
Yes,
excited to see Drew,
yes,
your wonderful son.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I'm excited.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be really good. Tickets are still available if you're
tickets
in the
still
area.
on sale. Right
Tickets
on.
still on
Where?
sale. Conejo Valley, Conejo Valley Players. A promotion to kill New Year's Eve. I think it starts at 9 o'clock.
Oh, good to know. Because I was thinking it wasn't going to be until like 11 or something. Like the show is happening at midnight.
Yes, well, I think that's when it actually ends,
A
is right at
three
midnight.
hour tour. Really?
Well, there's lots of stuff going on. Yes,
Holy
it's
moly.
not
That's a long
just.
show.
Well, it's not just. It's not just that. There's other stuff going on.
All right.
So yeah, I don't want to tell you because you said not
I
to.
know. I
So
told you I just want to go in and experience it. Yeah,
you're gonna love it.
it's
You're gonna
immersive.
love it.
Awesome.
It
All
is.
right. Well,
All right.
I'll see you on New Year's. Let's
Yep.
wish our audience here, our listeners,
Happy New
a
Year's.
very happy New Year and
hmm
the potential for a new you.
Yes.
If I can give
Start
you
now.
any suggestions on how to change, shift, or manifest your desires, contact Tina or I and work with us. That's what I would say.
Absolutely.
That's the
Absolutely.
reality, right? I don't think we say that
Yeah.
enough. Like we're some
Yeah.
like info agents for hypnosis or something. Like,
You come on. Come on.
yeah,
You know, we'll get you there. We'll get you
yes,
to where you want to be. Your success journey starts now.
amen. Right on.
hmm
All
Yeah.
right,
Subconscious
we'll see
speaks.
you all next year.
That's absolutely. Happy New
Bye.
Year.
Happy New Year.